Hi, I'm Amanda and I'm the owner of Ruby Lala, and welcome to the very first Ruby Lala and Me Time. I'm here with Charlotte this evening, and I'll hand over to Charlotte in a minute, but I just wanted to introduce myself. So we're going to bring you these videos each week, and the whole idea is that we're going to talk about something that's the topic, something to do with fashion, I don't know, size, all sorts of things, body shape, women, all sorts of things. We're going to cover lots and lots and lots, whatever we fancy really talking about, Charlotte. So join us each week. We will release the videos at weekends, so you'll see us at a weekend. So look out for us.
Sit down for a cuppa.
Actually, talking about couples.
Cheers.
So please join us. If you've got any feedback, we'd love to hear it. So if you'd like us to cover any subjects, or if you'd actually like to come and join us, we're going to have a guest once a month. So if you feel you have something to bring to the sofa, then come and join us.
It could be you.
Yeah, it could be you. Where does that come from?
The lottery.
Oh right, okay. Oh right.
Big
Okay.
finger.
I've never won that. So just a very couple of minutes on me. So I've been, Ruby Lala in Farnham has been open almost 2 years. Of course, most of that we've been in lockdown, and we're in lockdown now, obviously, but hoping to open the doors on the 12th of April if Boris lets us, fingers and toes crossed. So basically I stumbled across this profession really. I was in a profession for 20 years, completely different to what I do now. But the profession that I was in was about people, and I think that's what my passion is really, is people. So at Ruby Lala we offer the whole shopping experience, hence we've got sofas. When it's not COVID, we have complimentary coffee, complimentary bubbly at weekends. We've got a Space Invaders machine for the partners to play on. But of course we've had to limit a lot of that with the COVID restrictions. But yeah, we offer the whole experience. We love to talk to our customers. So if we don't know you, we hope that you will pay us a visit at some point. We are online, and I do live stream videos as well. So our online store is www.rubylalaonline.co.uk. What else can I say about me? So yeah, no fashion experience, no retail experience, learnt on the job, love it, love Ruby Lala, it's my passion. So hence why I wanted to bring you Ruby and Me Time. So here we go, welcome to our first one.
Yay.
So Charlotte, can I hand it to you to introduce yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
I find this very informative actually.
Yes. Yeah, we haven't worked together that long, have we? And I have to just say you don't have any fashion experience, but you really wouldn't know it. As I was saying earlier, you've got such an eye. Like everything that you pick is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I think some people just kind of have a natural way with it, and this was obviously where you were meant to end up here. So thank you for introducing me. I'm Charlotte. I have sort of a background in fashion and style in lots of different ways. From sort of running a burlesque dance school where it was all about the fashion and the sparkle and how things looked. I am a retail manager, so I do a lot of the shop floor work for that and kind of making everything look good. I have a degree in visual design, and I also have my own Instagram sort of style and fashion account. So yeah, I kind of have spanned a lot of areas with style and fashion. And I always forget I've got a degree in it.
I was going to say, what sort of thing does that cover? I mean, it sounds
So visual design covered everything from a catwalk to how a shop looks, to theatre design, to event planning, sort of a bit of everything, which was really, really exciting. It was in London. I was 19 and out in London, and just amazing experience. But yeah, it was so long ago now, I forget. But actually it's crazy how life has kind of come full circle, and here I am again in my sort of mid-30s doing all that again. So
And you are a Ruby Lala customer. I met you when you came into the shop.
Yeah.
And just loved your style, and you've been a regular customer since.
I
and now
have.
we get to work together, which is fantastic.
I was so excited when I got your message, because I loved, as you just said, that when you first opened here, I came in on that first day and just fell in love with, you know, you and the staff, but also just the space and your product. It was so lovely.
Oh.
So I've always been kind of an avid supporter ever since, and tagging on Instagram and things, because, you know, I love your stuff. So.
Oh, thank you. And you started to do some Instagram posts for us, which
Yes.
we absolutely love. So if you check out our Instagram as well, you'll see some beautiful things from Charlotte. And I suppose we were talking about this earlier, how different we are. And I suppose I'm in awe of, you know, looking, I said to you, do you take hours putting these photographs together? And you were saying that, no, it just comes to you and in your head. I mean, I could spend like 20 minutes, half an hour in the morning thinking, shall I go that's that? You know, I'm probably not quite as quick. I suppose there is that artistic element to it, but I'm not.
Well, there's
maybe
different
creative.
versions of creativity, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose it's in, you know, someone can write a whole novel or a whole book. I can do that. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
everyone has such different abilities, and I think with fashion and style, it's even more nuanced, because, you know, if you go on into the Instagram sort of fashion community, you could take the same dress and see it done a million different ways, because everyone's got their own sort of spin on it, and where someone else might make it a bit more sort of day to day and a bit more sort of dressed down, I might dress it with something absolutely ridiculous that I wouldn't leave the house in, but that actually in a photograph looks very cool and works for my grid.
Yeah.
So, you know, it depends also what you're dressing for, I suppose.
So I suppose we were talking about this earlier about us being so different in our dress sense. So, but you do, you know, as I said just a minute ago, you're a customer, so obviously my style you are attracted to as well.
Yeah.
But we were just saying, you know, I've turned up today. I mean, it's lockdown, and my dress sense, I suppose my dress sense personally has changed over the years. I think led by what my career has been, or my job, or, you know, when I think back to when I was at home with the children and how I used to dress then, and then sort of, you know, in my more professional career, how that would be more skirts and maybe jackets, not necessarily a suit, so something maybe quite bright. And then now I'm more of a leggings person, and you know, 10 years ago I'd never wear a dress. Now in the summer I live in dresses. Just how
It's
and I
amazing
think
how
that's been
it's
dictated
changed.
by what I do for a living.
Yeah, I mean, I think fashion definitely leads a lot of our decisions, sort of, even if it's just subtly, and even if we say we don't follow fashion trends, I think we kind of end up doing so anyway, just with people we see on the street, or, you know, you come into boutiques and you're seeing certain things, well, those things are around because of what the catwalks have dictated a year ago, or, you know, it's a constant thing, but again, it's that way of how you style it and how you wear it. So, you know, you're looking amazing today in your monochrome, but someone else might go monochrome, I'm going to wear all pink, or, you know, and make it a completely different thing. So I think it really does just come down to how someone sees their own style, and I think that's a big part of what we're doing here, is kind of trying to help people and encourage them to find their own unique style with your clothes and with what they've already got in their wardrobe, you know, and kind of picking out pieces that are just going to highlight something that they love about themselves, or, you know, just a look that they want.
I think I mean, I get a lot of customers come in, and quite often people will say, oh, I love that, but I'm not brave enough to wear it. And I think just from your Instagram posts over the last few weeks that you've been doing for us, or the last couple of weeks, it's just the way you put so many different colours and patterns together. Now, if you told me that you did that, I'd be like, whoa. Because I'm a 2 or 3 colour girl, 1 or 2 patterns, that's it. That's as far as I'll go. And maybe, you know, bung a pair of earrings on or something like that. But I think what I've been struck with is if you put those 5 different things separate, I would have gone, wouldn't have put those together. And you put them together so well.
Oh, well, thank you. I think, especially if you just go back over my grid and go back, so I only started that count in November, so if you go back to the beginning, it was very basic sort of jumper and jeans, and that was it really. I didn't really know where it was going. I just knew that I wanted to do some kind of style and fashion, and the comparison, the difference between my first picture and the last one I did, where I'm sort of crazy rock star, is very, very different. It's like 2 worlds. So, you know, it's just kind of growing as you see other people sort of inspiring you. And I have been inspired by that community on there to be able to feel brave enough to do those things. And as you're saying, you've got sort of customers coming and saying, I don't feel brave enough. But that's why it's so important that we actually do look around at fashion and at style and on social media, and why you guys always, you guys always look so amazing when you come in here, because you're encouraging people to dress in a different way as well. It's sort of pushing people out of their comfort zone, really, but in a nice, Ruby la la, gentle kind of way. It might just be like this. I'm gonna get up. I'm going to break all the rules and I'm going to get up. It might be, for example, just having something like this, instead of going black and white, it's got a stripe of red in it. That could be pushing someone so far out their comfort zone because it's not plain or it's not just black and white. But it's still a really lovely classic piece. It's just got a shot of red. Everything else could just be a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, but just like a little push and they'll feel $1 million.
Yeah, I love that jacket.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's gorgeous. It's so
I've got
lovely.
a similar one. I think we've still got one actually, like a long pinky one.
Oh yes, I've seen that online. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So I generally wear that one.
But it's such a classic pattern, isn't it? That kind of I can't even think what it's called. Just the
herringbone.
Yes.
Something like that.
See, I don't really know about fashion.
That lovely sort of lovely pattern.
Yeah, and I'm sure, wasn't it? It's Chanel, is it? Is that kind of with the pearls? And
yes,
that's a real
people
classic.
said that actually.
Yeah.
People said that.
It's really nice.
And again, because I haven't got much, I've just looked at it and thought, I really love that. But actually I don't have, like I say, a lot of fashion experience. I mean, I don't read a great deal around it. I just really go by my eye. I mean, I know we learn in different ways as well, and I just go by my eye and stuff. And I looked at that and thought, I love that. And so many people have said it's quite Chanel.
It's beautiful, and the thing is, when you're out buying, you're seeing so much stuff, aren't you? It can be a bit overwhelming. I think you have to go with your eye and your instincts, because otherwise you just either buy everything or nothing.
Yeah.
It would be one or the other. So I think
I am struggling at the moment to find, especially with lockdown, to find suppliers to be able to stock what I really want to stock, what I've got in my mind to stock. Because I love to go and feel things, and I think this is where people are still going to want to come to the high street, because everything for me, I very rarely like to buy over the internet. I have to go to the suppliers, feel it, and see what it feels like.
I think because there are so many places, and obviously Ruby La La as well, are trying to make it easier to buy online. Free returns and sort of all that kind of stuff. But as you say, it's still not the same as going in and trying it on and seeing in person, rather than getting it back to the house and trying it, sending it back, and it's all kind of a bit of a faff, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think especially sort of with your customer base, they know you guys and they know your stock, so they know they're going to get something lovely. That's I suppose the difference between something like this and like ASOS, or one of the sort of huge the Amazons, where you don't know what you're going to get at the end of the day, because you don't know who the suppliers are, who the companies are. You're just getting something on a whim, and that's for me, I think that's a really sad way that fashion's going. It's really sad. But lockdown, I suppose that's sad, isn't it?
I think I've really missed that interaction with people, and I think I talk to the girls that work here as well, and customer service is my real. We're losing so much of the fundamentals, I think, but it's also getting that balance. I know myself, if I go into a shop and someone doesn't feel genuine, that can really just turn me off. So I think the fact that I'm very fortunate with my staff, that they are, Lydia and Gemma, my main two girls, they love people the same as me.
And it comes across
as genuine, because actually it is.
It is, yes.
And I'm pretty nosy, so I love to know about people's lives and what they're doing and stuff like that. So.
Well, as I said, like the first time I came in here, I was like, well, this is home now. I'm going to live here now. and now, and in that time, I've obviously started working down the road on the high street as well, at the charity shops. So I'm such a sort of face-to-face person as well. I love being in retail. I haven't been in retail for so long, and it's been so good to get back into it, because I just love that customer interaction and just helping customers, and especially when it comes to clothes, because for me it's such a big thing. People can really express themselves through clothes, And I know we all have off days, like I don't look like this every day. But when you are going to go to the shop, you know, why not put on a dress and something a bit shiny on your feet, like these little wellies, which I'm not taking off, by the way.
I know,
They're mine now.
You
I absolutely love them. They're the cutest things. But yeah, why not? Because you've got to dress for yourself at the end of the day, haven't you? Because to be honest, for a lot of people, they're the only person seeing themselves. So, you know, get your ball gown on, I say.
No, I think it is. Things are changing, but I do hope things do go back. I mean, obviously, a lot of people do it online. But
Yeah.
I do hope things go back to actually physically coming out.
Fingers
to the
crossed.
shop, so.
What I've been sort of noticing a lot is how where everyone was kind of just wearing their joggers and things at the beginning of lockdown. So last lockdown, I should say the first lockdown, people were very much like, I'm wearing my rainbow coloured joggers. And it's interesting seeing the transition now, and it's getting just a little bit more elegant. So there's a lot of like the ribbed two pieces or sort of velvety two pieces and sort of nice colours and patterns on them, because I think actually being at home has become a bit of a way of life, obviously, for so many people. And they're sick of sitting around in joggers.
I know. I'm just desperate to get out and I feel very hopeful. You know, sort of a couple of months ago, I was thinking, gosh, what is this year going to look like? Because there won't be any holidays, there won't be any weddings, but actually I'm feeling quite hopeful that there's going to be holidays and weddings.
That would be so nice, wouldn't it?
And just to get, you know, I know last summer, I unpack I sort of tend to transition my wardrobe. I never wore any of it really. You know, we were back in here for a couple of months really before the autumn set in. So it'd just be really nice to get that back out.
It's
and
something
get some new pieces.
Have that hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of sense of hope. It's lovely. But I mean, even with like the two pieces you've got here, sort of with the comfort side of things, whack on a fancy bag and get down to Tesco's, and you know you can still dress things up even if if you're not going to the proms or wherever it is you're going. You know, it's really nice. I think now that we're kind of a bit more settled in the idea of lockdown, although now obviously we're coming to the end of it, but that idea of how people have just gone with it with their style and they're making it a thing. You know, like the long sort of purple cardigans with the big bell sleeves and that sort of thing. It's lockdown fashion. It's become a thing. You know, it's lovely to see.
I wonder if it'll be known as that. I mean, like I said, I don't know about fashion, but you know, that would be an era
that period of time.
Fashion.
Yeah, and it's amazing how quick the transition has been from I'm in my joggers all the time to actually I'm wearing quite a nice outfit today, and yes, it's comfy, and yes, it's with my slippers on. I love
those are my favourite slippers. Actually, I've got my eye on those because I've worn mine out now. I've worn mine out, so I need to get a new pair of slippers. But I love those ones, those pink. I'm a pinky girl actually.
And if you've got a Zoom meeting, no one's going to know.
Yeah.
But they should do. They'll be missing out.
I tell you what I do like. You've got the sparkly.
Yes.
See, we do the sparkly necklaces and stuff, and I love that.
Yeah.
Now, would you go to? I don't know, would you go to Tesco's or something in that?
Yeah, absolutely. I would go to Tesco's dressed like this, no problem. Because, well, why not? I mean, who's going to say anything other than...
Because you were saying something interesting earlier about you dress for you, not for anybody else. And I know it's International...
Yeah, International Women's Day, coming up on Monday, so...
Yeah.
Big up the girls.
Go girls, go. And I'm not sure if we're allowed to say that.
I don't know. It's International Women's Day, so I think that's probably the one day you're allowed to say that.
But yeah, I mean, I just love. You see, when I got those in, because I sort of a line that we've done really since we've been open. It was really something that I bought in for Christmas time.
Like events.
And then people started to say to me, have you got this? And I thought, so we now stock them all year round. And I suppose maybe I would perhaps feel a bit braver now if I was going to a barbecue in the evenings or something. That's another thing. Remember that? When we used to do things like barbecue.
Evenings!
I don't think I've watched much Netflix in my life.
I've finished Netflix. I've finished it.
I'm on Cold Dark at the moment. But yeah, so I would probably, and I would wear that probably coming to work. It's really nice.
Absolutely.
I think, and I wonder if that's what. But also I wonder if it is just thinking actually, though I have am the same ethos as you that I dress for me. sometimes I think I do need that reassurance of like it's okay. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, if she's wearing it,
Yeah.
it must be okay for me to wear it.
Absolutely, and that's fine.
Which I don't really like to admit when I'm saying it. I'm thinking, oh, it doesn't make sense, but that's actually,
Yeah.
you know.
But that's why we
being
have
okay.
catwalks, and you know that's why we have that sort of filter from the top designers down to your Tesco's and your Sainsbury's fashions, because we all look around at each other and go, is this okay? And so when we see someone else doing it, and that's why I think you guys here, you know, you wear the stock and you look lovely in it, and that encourages other people to go, well, I could look like that, you know, and it gives that sort of encouragement. What I would say about this necklace is if someone was a little bit nervous about wearing something, and you can probably see it better there, it's in the blue there, wear it like I'm wearing it over something that's already the same colour, so it kind of just, it's still got that sparkle, but it's not on black or on skin where it's kind of shouting at you a bit more. It's a little bit more subtle.
It looks lovely with that
Yeah.
dress, and yet I would never have thought to put that together.
I'm like,
That's what I
where's the
mean
sparkle?
about, I would wear that dress separately to that.
Yes, yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily think to wear ankle boots. I know it's quite in, isn't it? Boots with long dresses and stuff like that.
Well, these front zip boots especially, they are a big thing at the moment. And as I say, I'm not big on trends, but every now and again a trend catches my eye, and I kept seeing all these amazing clompy boots, and I've got some big feet on me. And normally I try to sort of tone them down, but I got to that point where I was like, look, this is my feet, this is what they're like, I like big boots, and so I've just got these huge chunky boots at home now, and every time a box arrives my husband's like, oh no, her feet are going to look huge again. It's just, I don't care, because I want to wear these boots and I love them. So
I remember my dad used to say, bless his soul, you can tell a person by their shoes. Everybody looks at someone's shoes first. So he always used to say when I was a child to make sure I polished
shine
my
them up,
shoes.
yeah.
And I remember just years ago when I was probably 18, 19, one of my first jobs. Someone came for an interview and I was a receptionist at the time, and I looked down and I just looked at her shoes, because I think you probably do. And I just said out loud, and I felt awful because she was mortified, but I said, you've got old shoes on. She had completely old shoes on, and she just went into a complete panic. I felt terrible. But I think, you know, people do tell a lot by people's shoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So shoes are just as important. But I'm a flip-flop girl in the summer, boots in the winter and flip-flops in the summer.
And slippers during lockdown.
Yeah. So, what have we got in store? So we're going to do another one of these next week.
Yes. Yeah, lovely.
So what have we got in store
So
for next week?
So this week I've been looking at some of the trends coming off the catwalks, one of which is my top favourite, which is the puffy sleeves. So I think places like Lowe, they had the bulb skirt, which you should have a look on Google for that, because it was ridiculous. It's completely unwearable in a normal going to work sense, but it's really sort of captured the imagination. And so these big puffy, the bulb, like light bulb skirt, and it's really captured imaginations. So we've got the big shoulders, the big arms, the big skirts, all these things are really coming in at the moment. So that's quite exciting, because I love a big shoulder.
Mine's been the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dynasty, but they had big shoulder pads.
Absolutely, the 80s are
You would
very
remember
much
the 80s,
in.
wouldn't you?
I was born in the 80s.
All right,
I don't
don't
remember the
be.
80s, like per se.
That was my prime, actually.
Yeah, I have to say, on Instagram we've been doing a lot on the 80s recently, and it was like for fashion and style so much fun, and just looking back on it and then sort of trying to recreate the looks, it's been an absolute blast. So yeah, I kind of, I'm sad I was in nappies for it. But we'll be looking at sort of the puff sleeves, maybe some sort of skirts that do that kind of vibe as well. I just wanted to show something like with this dress. Obviously I've got this lovely jacket on to go with it at the moment, because it's got a bit of a nip in the air. But just to kind of introduce that idea of the puff sleeve, because a lot of people might be thinking, what on earth is she talking about? A puff sleeve.
You're not, are you?
I don't know, a puff sleeve, it sounds a bit mad if you haven't kind of come across it yet. So I just wanted to try on one of these lovely jackets of yours that give you a sort of slightly more subtle version, but that won't overwhelm anyone, I don't think. So there you go, you've kind of got just a lovely little...
And you would wear that with that dress?
Yeah, I would absolutely
I would
wear
wear
this
it with
together.
that dress with the colour. See,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And the colours go nicely together. It's very, very flattering.
Has it got pockets? I think it's also it's
Yeah.
pocket. Oh.
Yeah. So it's perfect, really.
So
And
great
just
for this time
it's-
of year, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really nice about it is that, again, coming off the catwalks is a lot of classic trends. So your trench coats, and so that's perfect. But it's got this modern take on it, so it's absolutely spot on. So we'll be looking at a little bit more and other ideas.
Okay, so what we're going to do from next week is obviously talk a little bit about the puffy sleeves that are in, the 80s puffy sleeves. I remember, and obviously Charlotte was in nappies, but we'll
And a puffy nappy.
I take it you haven't turned up in a nappy next week. What we do is following the show, Ruby and Me Time, we will be issuing a newsletter, which will be, well, I don't know if it's called a newsletter, I don't know what the technical term for it is really, but it's an article really, or a blog about the subject that we've been talking about. So that will come after next week's. So thanks Charlotte for
No worries,
joining
thank
us.
you. It's been lovely.
Yeah, we'll see you again next week. Take care everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Have a good week.